Hi, I'm Brooke Kromer. Thank you for having me on today. We're going to talk about working with high net worth buyers and athletes purchasing investment properties along the most beautiful beaches in Florida on 30A.
Welcome to the Rental Property Owner and Real Estate Investor Podcast, brought to you by the Rental Property Owners Association, where real estate investors have found success since 1968. I'm your host, Brian Hamrick from Hamrick Investment Group. This episode is sponsored by Green Property Management, managing everything from single-family homes to apartment complexes in the West Michigan area. Find out more at greenpropertymgt.com. And RCB and Associates, helping real estate investors and small business owners navigate the complex world of health insurance and Medicare benefits at rcbassociatesllc.com. Hello and welcome to episode 506. My guest today is Brooke Kromer, a real estate investor and agent who specializes in helping high net worth clients, including athletes and coaches, find smart, high return investment properties. With a background in sports media and a lifelong connection to the NFL, Brooke brings a strategic mindset to real estate, and she knows what it takes to navigate complex, high stakes deals and competitive markets. Brooke, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me. Very excited to chat today.
Why don't we start with just your background and tell us a little bit about yourself?
I grew up in the NFL. My dad coached in the NFL almost my whole life. He was in college for a little bit there at the beginning, but can't even remember it. I was so young. So grew up around the NFL. It was a beautiful upbringing.
For the football fans in our audience, who was your dad and what team was he coaching for?
Yes, my dad is Aaron Kromer. He is an offensive line coach, one of the best ever to be. I'm so proud of him. He's with the Buffalo Bills now, but we have been everywhere. We have moved every 3 years of my life. You just go to a new team, whether you're doing good or you're doing bad, you're either going to get fired or everyone wants you because you're winning so many games. So a lot of turnover. And then my brother also got into coaching. It was kind of, all we knew growing up with moving so much. It was the NFL was our entire world. So he got into coaching, and then I was in sports broadcast for years. I was a producer and then did a lot of on-camera work. So we were all in the business. It was like a little family business, and it truly feels like that either way. It's such a small world, really, in the NFL. So it feels like a family, which has been really special. And now it's segued into me selling them investment properties at the beach. So they're off-season homes or second homes, a lot of investment properties for them so they can rent it out during the season and then also retire here eventually.
So it's interesting. You grew up in the NFL, and it seems like I'm reading between the lines, you got to know the players and the way they think pretty well. And a lot of them are very well paid. What did you see on the ground? Like the before you ever got into real estate, what is the mindset of the high net worth sports athlete that you recognized and are able to now parlay into your own business?
I think there's a lot of different mindsets in the league. You have to think about their upbringings in the NFL. These kids, some of them came from absolutely nothing, and some of them came from very wealthy families. So to understand them in a way, really just understand them as a person first and understand their needs and what they need help with. Because some of these kids, they're kids. They're so young. They didn't have the upbringing of parents that had money to tell them, you need to invest, you need to do this. A lot of their parents actually take. We have run into a lot of athletes in our lives that they'll win best dressed of the game, and they're given a watch and their mom's coming to get their watch. She's like, hey, I want that. Like, I raised you and I deserve that. Or they have family members that come out of the woodworks all of a sudden and expecting a payout or a handout because this family member is finally making money and no one has in their families before. So I try and really just educate the guys because they're my friends, and I feel like I can, talk to them in some ways that others can't, and educate them on how they need to invest their money. And doing it in real estate is always an amazing situation if you can get into it. Purchasing a beach home where they can come and spend their off season and then also rent it out and then watch it appreciate over the years and sell it and make some money off of it. So it's case by case. Some of these kids have come from tons of family money. They just play football because they love the game. So it's really understanding them as humans and then understanding them as athletes, and that they don't get to do this career for that long. I work with a lot of offensive linemen, tight ends, quarterbacks. I mean, most of their careers are 7 to 10 years. And then what do they do after that? So setting them up for success long-term financially is really my goal. And I just love to do it because I really care about them.
How do you talk to a high net worth athlete who grew up with a family that now is, coming and taking their watches and you've got all the hanger-ons and people who want their money? How do you have that conversation with them to say, hey, take some of that money and put it away and invest it wisely? How do you convince them to do that?
A lot of it starts with my dad. He, because he's coaching them. So he's with them every day. So they trust him. They love him. Like, he's like a father figure to most of them. So they listen to him. They've seen him do it, which is really cool. My family got into buying real estate down here right after we won the Super Bowl with the Saints, had a little extra cash and threw it into a property down here in Rosemary Beach. So they've seen him do it, which is really cool because they can say, oh my gosh, you've had success in this. You've bought a property, rented it out during the season, flipped it, bought exactly what you want on the water, got your dream property that you can then retire into. I want to do that. So then they come talk to me and figure out, how can I do that? And I can pair them with the correct people, the financial advisors that aren't going to take advantage of them, a lender that understands their needs and when we can talk to them and when we can get a hold of them. So there's a lot of moving steps. It's not just me. I feel like it takes a village because these people, they don't have a lot of people that they trust, but it becomes a family in the NFL. And so really they trust me because they love my family, and the last name, has a meaning in the NFL now. So it's nice. I have some buffers. My brother as well. He'll talk to the guys and they want to come see what 30A is about. So it takes a village. It really does.
Describe for our listeners who have no idea, including myself, what 30A is. What is it?
It is a 21-mile stretch of scenic highway. And on one side, there is the most beautiful white sandy beach with the most clear water. The water there's different colors to it. We have sandbars. So we call it watercolor. It looks like there's different lines of colors in the water, and it's the Emerald Coast because a lot of it is this just beautiful green, blues, whites. It's stunning. And then you have these amazing luxury properties all along the coastline and different little communities, which is what makes it special. So we have Rosemary Beach, which is an urban development of a little circle of restaurants and shops and nothing commercialized. It's all mom and pop places. A lot of them have been there for years. Some of them are new. So there's always something new down here, which is really fun for our clients that come down here. Every summer, there's a new restaurant or a new shop that everyone's excited to try out, but then they're excited to go to their staple places that they've grown up going to. But every town is different. Rosemary looks like a European New Orleans style area with different colored buildings and porches everywhere and gas lanterns. And then you have Alice Beach, which is all white. It looks like you just got transported to Greece. All paved, beautiful streets. So it's very luxurious. It's very focused on the wellness mindset, the investment mindset, tons of Airbnb opportunities down here. So most of my clients are coming to purchase a property to buy into the lifestyle of 30A and have their rental numbers offset most or all of the costs of their property. Back in the day, you could actually make some money and, have a great return on your investment right away with rentals. But now our area has so much demand that the prices have risen a little bit. And so it's really offsetting your costs, and you're buying into a lifestyle of living on 30A and basically having a beach house that you can come to, but it's being paid for by all the renters. It's a beautiful situation.
I know it's in Florida, but where in Florida is this?
It's in the Panhandle. So basically right underneath Alabama. They call us Lower Alabama sometimes because it's very southern here. Southern hospitality is through and through. You're driving down the street waving at your neighbors, like very southern area, which is where we get a lot of those southeastern states that are drivable to our market. So they'll just drive down, and then we have a small airport 20 minutes away that we have a lot of nonstop flights from New York City, Chicago, Kansas City, all of these different areas so then it brings in some other people as well that get to experience our little Southern charm.
How do you walk a high net worth athlete through this area with the mindset of, hey, we're going to find a place for you to invest in? Like, take us through that process. Right? Do you pick them up at the airport and drive them around? I mean, give us the nitty gritty here.
Most of them are our friends. So they're coming down to stay for a week in the summer and hang out and want to look at property. We had a lot of that this summer. It was so enjoyable just spending that time with them in the off season, and then also getting to help them find the best investment of their lives. So they come down, they rent a car, they bring the whole family, typically their parents, their brothers and sisters, all their kids, and rent a big house, get to hang out together. And then we've already picked typically they'll come down one time before they purchase and then come back and look at properties the next time. So typically that first time coming down is finding which area they want, because they're such different. All of our communities are really different along 30A. Like every 2 seconds that you drive, you're going to be in a completely different community. So it's, what amenities do you need? Do you want to be walkable to restaurants and shops? It's what they need first. And then we're trying to find them the best investment in that area of their needs. So a lot of them love the Rosemary, Alice, Inlet Beach area because you're walkable to shops, restaurants, everything you need. There's a lot of deeded beaches, so it's easy to get to privacy and luxury as well. Then it's, okay, now we've found the area you want to be in. Let's figure out what properties you like. Do you need a pool? Do you want walking distance to the beach? Do you want to be on the beach? I always try and find their needs first, because we'll be able to find a good rental property in any of these areas and any price range. The numbers, they're going to make sense. It's going to work. So then I figure out, okay, you like this type of house. We need this. Now let's figure out if the numbers are going to work. And I take a bunch of properties. I have them pick, a couple, pull the rental numbers, pull the costs to owns, taxes, insurance. I'll get them insurance quotes. I mean, I break it all down. We're going to get all of the numbers so we make sure this investment is going to work for them. And then also purchasing in an area that is I'm going to be able to resell in about 5 to 10 years, because typically people are buying into one property. It could even be 3 years that they want to turn it over and then purchase something bigger and new with the money that they've made off of their last property, because our area is always appreciating. So a lot that goes into it, but I dive in. I'm not going to allow anybody, no matter who the client is, to purchase a property that's not going to work for them numbers wise.
I'd like to take a moment to tell you about Green Property Management. Not only do they manage everything from single-family homes to apartment complexes in the West Michigan area, they also manage my entire portfolio. So I can tell you from personal experience that their unique flat fee management style is worth a closer look. If you feel that your property isn't operating to its fullest potential, then Green Property Management can help you take a holistic approach that will save you money, eliminate your headaches, and increase your net income. And if you're a property manager interested in applying Green Property Management's model, give them a call at 1-866-95-GREEN or visit them on the web at greenpropertymgt.com. If you're thinking of leaving your W-2 job and becoming a full-time real estate investor, one of the greatest costs you must consider is healthcare for you and your family. When I made this transition myself, I found the whole healthcare insurance process to be confusing and frustrating. That's why I'm glad I met Chad Creasy at RCB and Associates. Chad is a professional health insurance agent who helps real estate investors and small business owners understand and choose their best healthcare options. And best of all, his services are covered by the insurance company and won't cost you a dime. If you live in Michigan and are expecting a change in your healthcare insurance coverage for any reason, or losing employer coverage or transitioning into Medicare, then you owe it to yourself to contact Chad Creasy at rcbassociatesllc.com. What are the numbers? Like, give us a sticker shock here. Like, what are the numbers? What can you rent them out for? What's the cost of holding it? Love to hear a breakdown.
I can find anything down here. There's Panama City Beach right to our east. So I can find a property that's 200,000 if a client does need. But on 30A, you're typically looking at a condo starting at 500,000, and that's not in a planned community. And then once you get into a planned community like Rosemary Beach, for a condo, you're probably starting around 2 million, and then it goes up from there all the way. We have a condo that's 8 million. It's very large and has a pool on a roof deck. It's very cool. And then homes, you're typically looking around 2.5 million and all the way up to, I just walked a property that could probably sell for 28 million. So I think our highest sale on 38 right now has been around 25 million. So it varies. It's also always appreciating. So you're always going to watch your assets appreciate, which is lovely. But you can find anything. There's different, that's in Rosemary, that's in a planned community. And then you could be right outside of a planned community and get a much larger house for 3.5 million. And you're going to pay double that just to be in Rosemary or in a zip code. So the typical, luxury market, you want to be in that HOA, but I can find a place for anyone. And then condos, typically in Rosemary, you're going to make about 90,000. So the condos aren't making as much sense. So I get my clients into a property that's probably going to be anywhere between 150,000 to, depending on how large the property is, you could make 300,000 on it. A golf front, you could make 500,000 on.
You're talking rental income.
That's just the rental. That's the gross. So of course, then you're paying a property manager, which typically take about 20%, unless you want to do it yourself. But definitely for my athletes or my high net worth clients, I'm telling them to get a property manager because they can't handle that. But, some investors that have more time on their hands or do it full time, they'll come down and buy a property and rent it out themselves and make even more money. So it's all case by case, really fun to get to know what the client's needs are. And then insurance, everyone's made a big hoopla about it lately in Florida, but I'm finding amazing quotes. You just have to be with the right insurance guy. So if you need a great insurance agent, give me a call. I have a couple. But it's really, people are still making money. It's typically you're making your most money on the property is when you sell it in 3 to 5 to 10 years, depending on how long you want to keep it. I have a property right now that's listed at 1.4. It could use some work. So that's another great thing I'm having my investors focus on right now is tax advantages with the new big, beautiful bill. So they can 100% depreciate any work that they do on a property. So any furniture that they add, any remodel, anything to make the property better, you can depreciate 100% of that right now. So that's just another small part that's making the investment work for my clients right now. So that one at 1.4, if you put 100,000 into it, you write that off completely on your taxes. How amazing for that. And then it could bring in about 130,000 in rentals. So it's a great investment. It's going to offset most of your mortgage and your maintenance costs throughout the year. And then you're going to be able to come and be a part of 30A.
And when you say rentals, you're talking short-term rentals like Airbnb?
Yeah, it's mainly short-term rentals, Airbnb. The property managers are really amazing down here, getting the marketing out. And there's such a demand for 30A that my properties are rented solid right now. I can't even show them except for on Saturdays during the renter's turn because they rent so well down here. Everyone's in town right now for summer.
So even in summer, 30A is in demand. I always thought of Florida as a winter place.
We are the opposite of most because we're so north in the Panhandle. So our summers here are spectacular. This year it's a little crazy. It's like 100 degrees outside today. So everyone's at the beach or in a pool. But so you walk around town. It's really funny because there's so many people in town, but no one in town because it's so hot during the days. And then at night, it cools off around sunset and the towns are lively and everyone's sitting outside eating dinners. And then our amazing time where a lot of homeowners come is October. Kids are in school. It's really quiet down here and the weather is perfect. But we still get a little bit of a season down here, which I think a lot of our locals enjoy. So we can still throw a sweater on in the winter. It's not like Miami where it's hot all year long. So it's a beautiful place that if you're not also not looking for nightlife. We're not Miami. We don't have clubs. We have nothing like that. Everything kind of shuts down around 11. There's some late night places, but it's just a sweet beach town that focuses on wellness. Everyone gets up in the morning and takes a run down 30A or gets on a bike and goes the whole 21-mile stretch. There's biking trails. There's, paddle boarding and all of that fun, like sea life, and you get to go out and see the dolphins. So it's a lifestyle. Like, you're buying an investment, but you're going to want to come down and enjoy your property. It's more of those investors. I don't truly have any investors that just buy and leave it and never come down and visit their property.
For those who are like, hey, that sounds great, I'd like to go visit and rent one of these places for a week, what would you usually pay on Airbnb to stay in 30A?
It varies. There's really a place for everyone down here. There's small studio condos that are a bit older that you could rent for $135 a night. And then you can rent a golf front house that's 6 bedrooms for $45,000 a week. So it really just depends, but there's a place for everyone. That's what I love about it. I work with all kinds of clientele, people that are buying their first investment property that can only afford $300,000. I showed that this weekend, all the way up to, I just went and toured a house yesterday that was $28 million. So it varies. You can truly find a place for everyone, which is why I encourage anybody that has a little cash sitting around that really wants to start their best investments of their lives to reach out to me. I work with all clientele. Of course, the luxury division, but that's what I specialize in. But I can find you something. I'm going to find you something that the numbers are going to work for you. And then you're going to sell it in a couple of years and buy something even bigger. And that's the excitement of it. And that's why, you treat everyone and truly care about your clients down here, because they become your friends and they're leaning on you to tell them when the best time is to sell their property so they can get the most out of their property and move into something else. So I'm always watching the market for my clients, always keeping them top of mind and trying to figure out how to make their investment work the best for them.
What should our audience know about the high net worth mindset? Is there anything that might surprise us?
People love it. There's, private beaches down here, so you can really have that luxury privacy, which is what a lot of my high net worth clients need, because they're coming down here to escape, but also, go out to dinner with their friends, but then go back to their little peaceful haven on the beach. So a lot of my high net worth clients want golf front, they want a private beach, they want a pool. And it's cool because it's kind of a fraternity down here. You get down here and you can kind of mastermind with other people in your industry that you may not have met otherwise. We've made all of our best family friends who are in all kinds of different areas of life, business and not football, which is fun because we're learning all about all types of the business world, all types of different ventures in the business world. So it's a really cool area to be able to sit back and, you're talking about business, you're talking about, for the NFL guys, they all come down here and all hang out together on the beach. But, they talk football a little bit, but it's not the X's and O's. It's about the camaraderie of the team or, families. And then the business people get down here and it's become kind of like a little tech hub, which is really cool. During COVID, a lot of tech went remote. So a lot of them moved down here because why not live at the beach if you can work remote? So a lot of startups have begun down here. So the investors love being down here to, connect with the startups and invest in their new ventures. And it's a cool area. It's really become this business area that it wasn't when I was growing up down here. It was more of like a little sleepy beach town that no one knew about. And COVID really changed that. So it's really grown a lot in the last couple of years.
How would people find out more about you or get a hold of you?
You can go to my Instagram. It's at Brooke Kromer. Kromer is with a K. I post to there all the time, educational videos about tax advantages, all the way to drone videos of sea turtles and dolphins playing in the water. So you will get the full 30A experience on my Instagram. Check out our website, kromercollective.com. That is my team name. Just a team of great women working hard down here to make a name for ourselves. It's been so much fun, but definitely reach out, email me, brooke.kromer@compass.com, and we'll get your next best investment under your belt and have you a beach house within a month.
What is your favorite hack or app?
I'm loving some ChatGPT these days, getting into the AI things. There's so much you can do and learn from it. And then also just make my job 10 times easier when I'm running around like crazy in the summertime trying to find everyone a property. Also, my favorite hack right now are these tax advantages. So check out on my Instagram, go look at the videos I've made, because you can really save yourself some money with these business properties and these Airbnbs right now.
Is it through the accelerated depreciation?
Yep, all of it. Business, the QBI, the 100% depreciation, all of it, cost segregation. There's so many different ways right now that better than ever before that my investors are not only making money off their properties, but then having these amazing tax advantages from purchasing Airbnbs, under not a second home, but as a business, because they qualify as a business if you're renting it out more than you're staying there. So just incredible opportunities right now. And we're also in such a buyer's market down here. We have about 13 and a half months of inventory at this moment, which is absolutely insane. So my investors down here right now are getting great deals on properties. Then add the tax advantages into that, and the prices are lower because the interest rates are down right now and people are desperate to sell because we have so much inventory. So I'm getting some amazing deals for my buyers right now. So highly, highly recommend looking into it. The fall is a great time to buy down here because kids are back in school, and we're a resort area. So when the kids are out of school, the area is nuts. And then kids go back to school, it quiets down a little bit. So you can get into some great properties to tour them. So definitely look into it this fall. Reach out to me, please, if you're looking for an investment. I promise you, it's going to be the best investment you make, and you're going to enjoy it.
You're an excellent advocate for the 30A area, and I appreciate you coming on the show to share it with us and talk about working with high net worth investors and athletes. And your background is fascinating, and I really appreciate having you on the show. Thanks so much.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me.
I want to thank everybody for listening to this episode. I'm your host, Brian Hamrick from Hamrick Investment Group, and you can find out more about me by going to higinvestor.com. That's higinvestor.com. This episode was sponsored by Green Property Management, managing everything from single-family homes to apartment complexes in the West Michigan area. Find out more at greenpropertymgt.com.
And RCB and Associates, helping real estate investors and small business owners navigate the complex world of health insurance and Medicare benefits at rcbassociatesllc.com.
You've been listening to the Rental Property Owner and Real Estate Investor Podcast, brought to you by the Rental Property Owner Association. You can find out more at rpoaonline.org. If you enjoyed this podcast, please go to iTunes to subscribe, rate, and review.